Remember that we can change the view of our worksheet at any time, and we can do this one of two ways. We can go up to the View tab, and we can use our workbook views over here. We can then come down to the status bar and use the options that we have down below here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to view it from the View tab. So with the View tab, I've already selected the View tab, and remember we're going to the Workbook Views group, and here we're going to go ahead and select the Page Layout button. And when I do that, it takes my workbook, it switches from the default view, which is the normal view, to the Page Layout view. Now remember, a normal view will show the worksheet without including any certain details like headers and footers or tools like the ruler or a page number indicator. So it's great when we're just creating a worksheet or editing a worksheet, but it's not going to give us a lot of details. So when we need more details, it's helpful for us to move to a page layout view because we're getting a more accurate view of how that workbook is going to look when it's printed. As you can see, we can see our margins at the top and the right side and left side of our page here. We see a ruler at the top here. We also see some column headings. They've kind of got pulled out and they are attached to the ruler. And if we want to get in and look at our header and footer, if I scroll down, we can actually see the header and footer and where the actual, how many lines actually or rows are going to be on a, or can be on a worksheet. So we're going to, in our header, we're going to put in a custom header. So I'm going to click in the left side of my header. Notice once I activate my header area, I now have a header and tools design bar that pops up. Another toolbar that pops up. And so we have this design toolbar here. So in the left header area, I'm going to type in reason to go. No spaces. In my center box, I'm going to type in the project leader calculator. So project leader payroll calculator. Make sure I spell that correctly. And then in the right side, we are going to indicate that this is week 35. Next, we're going to select the range A1 through G2. So I'm going to come down here. Now I'm out now of my header area. I'm going to select the range A1 through G2. Okay, this information was currently in my worksheet. Now I've moved it out of my worksheet and I put it into the header of my document. So we no longer need this information here. So I select that range A1 through G2 and I'm just simply going to delete, and it deletes the contents of those cells. So up on my View tab, make sure that is active. I want to, in my show group, here's a show group, notice that I have a check mark that will show my ruler and grid lines, my headings, and my formula. We just want to uncheck the ruler, and notice as I do that, my ruler now disappears. I also want to remove my grid lines, so it's going to actually remove these lines down here as I do that, and notice now my page becomes just like a clean piece of paper. Let's go take a look at a different view. So now we're going to take a look at the page break view. So I'm going to come over here and select in my workbook views group the page break view. So I can see where my page is going to break. And it's going to break between columns G and H, and it's going to break between at the bottom of row 18, and that's where my page is going to break. I actually want to make that a little longer, so what I'm going to do is take my cursor, I'm going to place it over that blue line there. I'm going to wait for my cursor to turn into a vertical bar. I'm going to hold down my mouse. Notice as I'm holding, the blue line now turns green, and I can drag this down just for 2 lines. And I'll release, and now I have included rows 19 and 20 in my page break view area. Let's switch on back to our page layout button. So in my workbook groups, let's click onto my page layout, and notice as I scroll down that this has been rows 19 and 20 have been included in that print layout view. Let's go ahead and put a check mark back in for the ruler, and let's go ahead and put that check mark back in for my grid lines. And let's go ahead and save our work, and we're going to stop it right here.